Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, India celebrating 76 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating various international commemorations. Before that, as yesterday there was no session, but there were important commemorations. So we will look at yesterday's two commemorations, which are very much important. And then we'll move into today's commemorations. So today, as part of May 16th commemorations, we are looking at International Day of Living Together in Peace, which is commemorated on 16th May every year. United in differences and diversity, living together in peace is all about accepting differences and having the ability to listen, to recognize, respect, and appreciate others, as well as living in peaceful and united way. The UN General Assembly, in its resolution 72 by 130, declared 16th May the International Day of Living Together in Peace as a means of regularly mobilizing the efforts of the international community to promote peace, tolerance, inclusion, understanding, and solidarity. The day aims to uphold the desire to live and act together, united in differences and diversity, in order to build a sustainable world of peace, solidarity, and harmony. The day invites countries to further promote reconciliation, to help to ensure peace and sustainable development, including by working with communities, faith leaders, and other relevant actors through reconciliatory measures and acts of service, and by encouraging forgiveness and compassion among individuals. So following the devastation of the Second World War, the United Nations was established to save succeeding generation from the source of war. One of its purposes is to achieve international occupation in solving international problems, including by promoting and encouraging respect for human rights and for fundamental freedoms for all without distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. In 1997, the General Assembly proclaimed by its resolution 52 by 15 the year 2000 as International Year for a Culture of Peace. In 1998, it proclaimed the period 2001-2010 as the International Decade for a Culture of Peace and Non-Violence for Children of the World. In 1999, the General Assembly adopted by Resolution 52 by 243 the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace, which serve as a universal mandate for the international community, particularly the United Nations system, to promote a culture of peace and non-violence that benefits all of humanity, including future generations. The declaration came about us as a result of long held and cherished concept contained within the constitution of UNESCO that since was begun in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men about the defenses of peace must be constructed. The declaration embraces the principle that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but also requires a position dynamic, participatory process in which dialogue is encouraged and conflicts are resolved in a split spirit of mutual understanding and cooperation. So the declaration came about as a result of long held and cherished concept contained with the constitution of UNESCO that since wars began in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defense of peace must be constructed. The declaration embraces the principle that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but also requires a positive, dynamic, participatory process in which dialogue is encouraged and conflicts are resolved in a spirit of mutual understanding and cooperation. The declaration also recognizes that to fulfill such an aspiration, there is a need to eliminate all forms of discrimination and intolerance, including those based on race, color, sex, language, religion, political, or other opinion, national, ethnic, or social origin, property, disability, birth, or other status. The UN's work for peace and security, saving future generations from the scourge of war, was the main motivation for creating the United Nations, which founders lived through the devastation of two world wars. Since its creation, the UN has often been called upon to prevent disputes from escalating into war or to help restore peace following the outbreak of armed conflict and to promote lasting peace in the societies emerging from wars. So May 16th is also commemorated as International Day of Light, which is commemorated by UNESCO. The study of light has led to promising alternative energy sources, life-saving medical advances in diagnostics, technology, and treatments, light-speed internet, and many other discoveries that have revolutionized society and shaped our understanding of the universe. These technologies were developed through centuries of fundamental research on the properties of light, starting from Ibn al-Hayat's seminal work, Kitab al-Manzir, Book of Optics, published in 1015 in the West, and including Einstein's work at the beginning of 20th century, which changed the way we think about the time and light in the West. But in India, we know the source of light and we have used different forms of light. And it has been mentioned in our ancient scripts about various sources and generation of light. So the International Day of Light is celebrated on 16 May each year. The anniversary of first successful operation of the laser in 1960 by physicist and engineer Theodore Malman, that this day is a call to strengthen scientific cooperation and harness its potential to foster peace and sustainable development. Without light, our planet would be but a cold and barren place. Indeed, where there is light, there is often an abundance of life. Yet light represents even more for humanity. Light goes hand in hand with knowledge. It is a lens through which to see and understand the world. The International Day of Light celebrates the role light plays in science, culture, and art, education, and sustainable development, and in fields as diverse as medicine, communications, energy, and celebration, which will allow many different sectors of the society. worldwide participation in activities that demonstrates how science, technology, art, and culture can help achieve the goals of UNESCO in building the foundation for peaceful societies. We'll watch a short video. Today, we are also commemorating International Child Helpline Day on May 17th. Every year, this day is dedicated to celebrating the work of child helplines all around the world. The efforts of these workers ensure that children and youth in need are listened to and assisted in a timely manner. Millions of children contact the network of child helplines asking for support. Suggestions have been made through the analysis of child helpline data from 181 countries to make policy changes for the improvement of children's lives. Child helplines hold various activities and celebrations to highlight their work and achievements. This helps to enhance public awareness. Jerobili Moria is the founder of Child Helpline International. She explored the idea of creating a global network of child helplines. The helplines would provide technical assistance to each other. A meeting was held in Amsterdam in 2003. Representatives from 49 child helplines from around the globe were in attendance. This was a meeting where Child Helpline International was launched. The principles of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, where the Child Helpline International gets its purpose from. The principle establishes the children's rights to privacy and protect them from harm. The Child Helpline International Network provides a forum for international sharing and mutual support. It also provides assistance with advocacy and lobbying. They help with the initiation and development of child helplines in countries that do not have those services. Child Helpline International is currently located in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Patrick Krentz is the Executive Director of Childline Helpline International. The membership-based organization has more than 173 members in 142 countries and territories around the world. Over 20 million children and young people in the need of the care and protection have contacted the members of the Child Helpline International. The holiday spreads awareness so children know that they can always reach out and get support. This way, the public can get enough information on what to when a child is in need of assistance. Today is also commemorated as International Coaching Week. International Coaching Week will take place every year from May 17 to 23 this year, beginning in 1999. It is a week-long celebration of the coaching profession and its importance in uplifting the skill sets of the clients. International Coaching Week sees people around the world acknowledge the importance of professional coaching for a thriving society. It enlightens people about coaching as well as encourages them to spread the word for better development of the self. Jerry Udelson launched International Coaching Week in the year 1999 as a week-long celebration to promote the importance of working with a professionally accredited coach. It also celebrates the progress made through the progress process of coaching. Jerry Udelson is known as a coaching pioneer and visionary. She is among the first 100 people to hold the title of Master Certified Coach, a designation given by the International Coaching Federation. International Coaching Week educates people about the value of working with a trained professional coach with experience in the personal, executive, or business sector. It is also a great opportunity for coaches to demonstrate their skill set to the clients. During International Coaching Week, coaches around the world offer different kinds of pro bono services and the activities in their local groups and communities to help experience the benefits of coaching firsthand. The International Coaching Federation is the largest coaching organization in the world aimed at the global advancement of coaching. It fosters the role of coaches as a crucial part of growing society. The federation was founded in 1995 and has more than 35,000 members located across 140 plus countries and territories with the aim of enhance coaching awareness and uphold the integrity of coaching through continuous learning. The International Coaching Federation empowers coaches, clients, communities, organizations and the world as a whole through coaching. Today is also commemorated as International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. This International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, Biphobia is a day observed around the world on May 17th. This event is held every year to help raise awareness about LGBTQ issues. It helps to share information about some of the issues faced by the community. These orientations are criminalized in many countries around the world. They are not allowed to have relationships and cannot be legally married. People in community face a lot of prejudice and discrimination. They also face some hostility that can sometimes lead to violence. This day helps to remove some of the stigma surrounding these orientations. International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia is an LGBTQ awareness day that falls on May 17 every year. People in the LGBTQ community face a lot of issues that the day helps bring out to light. For many years, they have been denied legal protections and essential health care. They have also sometimes been forcibly subjected to go through medical treatment or needless surgery. They are denied basic civil and human rights. This day was officially founded in 2004 by Louis Georgetown. The first event was held on May 17th in 2005 and was attended about 24,000 people. The specific date, May 17th, was chosen to commemorate the World Health Organization's decision to declassify homosexuality as a mental disorder in 1990. A petition was launched in 2009 in cooperation with LGBTQ organizations to add transphobia to the name of the campaign. The petition was supported by more than 300 NGOs from 75 countries. It was also supported by 3 Nobel Prize winners, Alfred Jelinek, Francois Barry Sinosi, and Luc Montagnier, the first country in the world to officially remove transgender issues from its list of mental illness was France in 2009. The founder of this day acted as the event committee chairperson until he resigned in September 2013. Renowned Venezuelan trans rights activist, lawyer, and law professor Tamara Adrian succeeded him after his retirement. In 2015, Adrian became one of the first trans legislations in Latin America. In 2015, biphobia was added to the name of this day campaign. Almost 13 years after the APA took first step in recognizing the LGBT community, the World Health Organization declassifies homosexuality as a mental illness from the International Classification of Diseases, ICD, in 1990. So the day known as the International Day Against Homophobia, in short known as IDAHO, is conceived after a year it becomes an event celebrated in several countries in 2004. In 2009, transphobia becomes an official part of the event, with many of the activities revolving around transphobia in 2009. Bisexuality is added to the name of the event in order to acknowledge and face the issues that bisexual people encounter in 2015. So, sexual orientation refers to the sex or gender of people to whom someone is sexually attracted. There is no wrong type of sexual orientation. There are simply different types. A person is considered to be bisexual when they are attracted to both sexes. Today is also commemorated as International Virtual Assistants Day, which takes place on every Friday in May. This year it falls on May 17. So this day is all about expressing gratitude for all that virtual assistants do. Often the unsung heroes in the workplace, virtual assistants provide clients with managerial organizational, and personal assistance services, typically on a freelance basis. On Virtual Assistance Day, we recognize the dedication, tenacity, and hard work of virtual assistants around the world. One of the day's goals is to raise professional knowledge of the benefits of using a virtual assistant. The efforts and hard work of virtual assistants are also recognized on this day. During the 1940s, the rise of virtual assistants began a long and complicated transformation. What we currently refer to the virtual assistant sector was born in secretarial services industry. After the shorthand method was developed by Sir Isaac Pitman, secretarial work became alluring. When religious conservation still prohibited women from working in the office, Pitman launched the first school for secretarial services, which admitted only men. With the introduction of the typewriter, women admittance into the secretarial services was made possible. By the 19th century, technology has evolved in the point that it enabled economic transactions, even thousands of kilometers away. In 1996, life coach Thomas Leonard and Anastasia Stacey Bryce coined the term virtual assistants. Bryce embodied this new job market by working from home from an international client. She used the internet to deliver services and referred to herself as a virtual assistant, which became the definition of a growing and exciting career. Christine Durst, a virtual assistant pioneer, published the 2-second commute in 1995, describing it a revolutionary way of working from home. Durst encouraged professionals to use the internet to follow their passions and earn a living. Today is also commemorated as World Hypertension Day, which is observed annually on May 17 to raise awareness of hypertension and to encourage hypertension prevention. Detection, and control. Hypertension affects more than 1 billion people around the globe, and over 30% of the adult population in the world. Is primary risk factor for cardiovascular disease, particularly coronary artery diseases and strokes. Beside hypertension is also a risk factor for chronic kidney diseases, heart failures, arrhythmia, and dementia. That's why sharing information about this condition is essential. World Hypertension Day was initiated by the World Hypertension League, WHL, which is a non-profit international organization founded on January 4, 1984, dedicated to preventing and controlling hypertension at the population level. World Hypertension Day was first launched on May 14, 2005. Since 2006, WHL has been observing May 17th of every year as a World Hypertension Day. The day is aimed at increasing awareness of hypertension due to lack of appropriate knowledge among patients with hypertension. Hypertension, also known as high blood pressure, is a medical condition when the blood pressure in the blood vessels is continuously elevated. The more blood your heart pumps and the narrower your blood vessels are, the higher your blood pressure becomes high blood pressure. Typically does not cause symptoms, but long-term high blood pressure can result in coronary artery disease, stroke, chronic disease, kidney disease, heart failure, arrhythmia, and dementia. Since these are usually no symptoms, you need to have a screening to identify your blood pressure. Hypertension has two types: primary, essential hypertension, and secondary hypertension. Primary hypertension does not have an identifiable cause, while secondary hypertension does, including obstructive sleep apnea, kidney disease, and certain medications such as birth control pillows or some prescription drugs. Some methods for the primary prevention of hypertension include maintaining body weight for adults, engaging in regular aerobic physical activity such as brisk walking, reducing dietary sodium intake, consuming a diet rich in fruit and vegetables, and limiting alcohol consumption. Stephen Hales made the first published measurement of blood pressure in 1733. Eberhard Frank coins the term essential hypertension, essentially hypertony, in 1911. The World Hypertension League is established on January 4th in 1984, and World Hypertension Day launches on May 14th on 2005. Caffeine may cause a short but dramatic increase in your blood pressure, and the blood pressure response to caffeine differs from person to person. So, coffee can raise your blood pressure. Drinking water and staying hydrated can help maintain healthy blood pressure. So, drink as much as water as you can. Today is also commemorated as World Information Society Day. The World Telecommunication and Information Society Day, in short known as WTIST, is celebrated every year on May 17th to raise global awareness of the potential that the Internet and Information and Communication Technology, ICT, can bring to society and the economy. It also helps to raise awareness of the ways to bridge the digital divide. The Internet and ICT has proven to be essential in facing the world's challenges in the digital era, and the global cooperation is required to decrease the digital divide so that all can access new technologies and connect. World Telecommunication Day was first celebrated on May 17, 1969. It's to mark the founding of the International Telecommunication Union and the signing of the first International Telegraph Convention in 1865. In March 2006, the UN General Assembly proclaimed May 17th Annual World Information Society Day. In November 2006, the ITU Plenipotentiary Conference in Antalya, Turkey decided to celebrate both Telecommunication Day and Information Society Day on May 17th as World Telecommunication and Information Society Day. ITU is a specialized agency of the United Nations in charge of things related to information and communication technology. Being the oldest UN agency, it was established as the International Telegraph Union. At first, ITU was aimed to help connect telegraphic networks between nations. ITU later adopted the name International Communications Union in 1934. Due to its expanded responsibilities over radio and telephone, ITU agreed with the United Nations to expect a specialized agency in the United Nations system on November 15, 1947, which came into force on January 1st, 1949. ITU is based in Geneva, Switzerland, and its global membership includes 193 member states and around 900 international and regional organizations, companies, and universities. Its work involves allocating global radio spectrum and satellite orbits, developing technical standards, and improving access to ICT for all undeserved communities. Besides, ITU does work for amateur radio, radio astronomy, broadband, wireless technologies, and next generation networks. We are benefiting from ITU's work, such as making phone calls via mobile, accessing the internet, and emailing. Today is also commemorated as Endangered Species Day in US. Animal lovers and conservationists unite on May 17th, which is National Endangered Species Day. This is a day to consider the dwindling populations of certain animals and work together to help. Environmental conservation didn't gain traction until the mid 1980s. America's Endangered Species Act of 1973 sparked both domestic and international conservation by providing a framework for protection. Even today, some remain critical of human efforts to make the world more habitable for endangered animals. They argue that the natural selection should decide which species live or die. But let's remember that humans have unprecedented effect on the planet, which can have negative consequences on the lives of other animals. Today is also commemorated as Bike to School Day in US. Introduce the kids in your life to the joys of biking. This Bike to School Day, held on third Friday in May each year. People come together to celebrate a healthier lifestyle and get a little exercise before the class. This event builds of the excitement of National Bike Month, also held in May, and the popularity of International Walk to School Day. Bikes have been around for a long time, since the 1800s, in one version or the other. Early inventions came from France in the West, but the modern bicycle was designed in England in the West. Even before that, also world bicycle was there in different forms, even in India and other countries. So, throughout the 1800s, bicycle designs were worked on, although they were called velocipedes back then. Earlier, they were known by velocipedes, not bicycles. News from Paris influenced the American bicycle craze, which began in 1868 and quickly spread to major East Country coast cities. The world's first cycling newspaper, The Velocipedist, was published in New York by the bicycle maker Pickering and Davis. Around the same time, more than 250 different bicycle patents were filed in the US. Interest died out by 1971, only to be reviewed almost 5 years later. With all the innovations by different manufacturers, bicycle designs has come into their own, and a safety standard was slowly starting to set in. New types of bikes were born for every purpose and customer. Today, globally, there were twice as many bicycles as automobiles. Bicycles also outshell automobiles 3 to 1. Bike paths have been constructed across many places in the US, and the government encouraged bikes as an alternative to automobiles. The very first National Bike to School Day took place in coordination with National Bike Month on May 9, 2012, and 49 states held local events that encourage children to bike or walk to school safely. Today is also commemorated as NASCAR Day in US. It has got on its edge of our seats with anticipation on this May 17th, the iconic car race that has been happening for several decades now, first starting in 1948 on Daytona Beach, located in Florida, US. The NASCAR event takes place for 10 months each year. Millions from all around the world tune in to watch the races. Companies and sponsors have also created and manufactured special collectibles for commercial sales. Seeing the popularity of the event, the NASCAR Foundation created NASCAR Day to help raise funds and awareness for the betterment of children's lives all over the world. Today is also commemorated as National Bike to Work Day, as we have commemorated National Bike to School Day in US. So we love our work, but we wish our work commute would disappear into a fairy pit somewhere. That's why we love celebrating National Bike to Work Day each year on the third Friday of May, on May 17th this year. This day aims to incentivize us to switch our regular commute with bikes, and we are very thankful for it. Another key element of this day celebration is the emphasis on safety awareness for cyclists and other commuters, and also being environmental conscious. Part of the Bike to Work Week, which in turn is part of National Bike Month, Bike to Work Day was designed by Biking Enthusiasts League of American Bicyclists. The day began to be observed as a way to increase awareness about the health benefits of cycling every day. Bikes, as we know them, did not appear until the end of 19th century. Before that, a two-wheeled steerable contraption designed by German-born Karl von Drais de Sorbrunn was a common sight for a brief period of time. This machine was known by various names: the velocipede, hobby horse, raisin, and running machine. And N. von Drais, the honor of being called the father of the bicycle by many famous poet John Keats, however, was not very impressed by the invention. He famously called it nothing of the day. Today is also commemorated as National Cherry Cobbler Day in US. Cherry cobbler is a baked dessert made with a rich cherry filling and a biscuit dough crust. The cherry cobbler first came into existence in the 19th century when bakers had to modify recipes due to scarcity of ingredients. You could say that the cherry cobbler is a cooler version of the traditional cherry pie. Today is also commemorated as National Defense Transportation Day in US. Commemorates the transportation services in the US. The day is a United States Federal Observance Day, but it is not a public holiday as all business are open and running. Any society's infrastructure and operations depend heavily on its transportation sectors. Not only do the appropriate transportation services save time and money for the general population, but they also provide better living standards for the entire country. The day aims to highlight the transportation sector's workers' dedication to their professions. There are also several activities lined up during the day, from special recognition events to school contacts. Today is also commemorated as National Graduation Tassel Day in US. Every year on May 17th, we celebrate National Graduation Tassel Day as a way of honoring students, their academic achievements, and the start of new journey in their careers. Despite United States having impressive high school graduation rates, it is no easy feat. It involves years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Sometimes it's easy to forget the sacrifices students make to realize their dreams, and National Graduation Tassel Day reminds us of just that. This is a perfect day to celebrate how far you have come. Today is also commemorated as National Idaho Day in US. It celebrates the joyful day in 1863 when Idaho was recognized as the 43rd state by the Union. Today, the state is best known for its industry, forest cover, and tourism. On this day, Idahoans celebrate the day by showcasing the gem state's treasured past, flourishing present, and promising future. Celebrations are led by the Idaho's Historical Society and proud citizens of the state. Schools and universities, state agencies, and other organizations also join in the merrymaking. Today is also commemorated as National Mushroom Hunting Day in US by a mushroom lover, Jace Shoemaker Galloway. So if you are going on the hunt, you need to know how to identify which mushrooms are edible. You probably don't want to go mushroom hunting hastily and end up eating the poisonous ones. Mycologists and mushroom hunters commonly use the spore sprint technique to differentiate between similar looking species. So educate yourself before you go on the mushroom hunt. Mushroom hunting is the activity of harvesting mushrooms in the woods of forest, usually for culinary purposes. It is also called mushrooming, mushroom picking, or mushroom foraging. Mushroom hunting can be fulfilling yet dangerous because some edible mushrooms have poisonous look-alikes. Generally, field guides can help you distinguish between edible and poisonous ones. Besides, there is a mushroom identification technique called a spore print. It commonly uses by mycologists and mushroom hunters to identify the genus of a specimen and differentiate between similar looking species. Today is also commemorated as National Pink Fix Day in US, which aims to help people make informed decisions about their personal finances. especially women. We think that managing personal finances can be incredibly complex. However, you can take control of your career and finances with some guidance from an expert and your own willingness to learn more about how you can spread your money wisely. For women, it is especially important to be in charge of their own money and be financially independent. National Pink Fix Day helps you take control of your family work and even the community. Today is also commemorated as National Pizza Party Day in US. Pizza is the very definition of a good time, and May 17 options are plentiful. Although mainly thought of as an Italian dish, pizza has been seemingly existed forever. The ancient Greeks used to flavor their flatbread with oils, herbs, and cheese. And while Persian soldiers used to bake their own pizzas on the hot surfaces of their shields. Traditional pizza is also known as Neapolitan pizza, and it originates, as the name suggests, from Naples around the middle of the 16th century. Even before it existed in the West, in India, and it has existed as a pancake. You know, the dosa, famous dosa, it is the thick one dosa that is often used as a pizza. That was, now we see a lot of varieties of dosa, you know, thousand, more than 1,000, 10,000 varieties of dosa, soft, crispy, hard, and so on. Today is also commemorated as National Walnut Day in US. They may not be as popular as almonds or peanuts, but they are they are great for your heart, your brain, and your bones. You can incorporate them into any meal, and they are literally been around for almost 10,000 years. The Walnut Marketing Board established National Walnut Day in the 1950s, and we have celebrated on May 17th ever since. So the best ways to use walnuts, because they are so much more just another ingredient to toss in salads. Today is also commemorated as NF Awareness Day, which is observed annually on May 17th. It is said that thousands of people have neurofibromatosis, which is in short known as NF, but they don't even know it. Besides, there is still no cure for neurofibromatosis, which is in short known as NF. That's why this day is observed to raise awareness of this condition, educate people about it, and raise money to support research so that there can be effective treatments for NF. It is also to encourage parents to take another look at their children for their signs and symptoms so that they can be treated sooner. So let's support the people with NF and research to end NF. Neurofibromatosis, NF, is a condition that causes tumors to grow in the nervous system. There are three types of NF: NF1, NF2, and schwannomatosis. Symptoms include multiple spots on the skin, small benign growths or under the skin, freckling in armpits or groin, and scoliosis. In NF2, signs can include hearing loss, facial weakness, visual loss, and muscle wasting. Schwannomatosis is the least common type of NF. The symptom is pain anywhere in the body, not necessarily in the area of schwannoma. These types of neurofibromatosis are a result of mutations in chromosomes. NF1 is caused by a mutation on chromosome 17, while NF2 is caused by anomalies on chromosome 22. Schwannomatosis is caused by a mutation on the SMART CB1 gene. In most cases, symptoms of NF1 are mild, but in some cases, they may cause disfiguring and psychological issues. In cases of NF2, people may also develop other types of benign brain or spinal tumors. In the case of schwannomatosis, some people may develop several tumors throughout the body. The tumors in NF are generally not cancerous, and half of the people with NF1 or NF2 inherit from it for a parent. Patients affected with NF1 or NF2 have a 50% chance of passing the NF to their offspring in case of schwannomatosis. It is mostly not inherited. So far, there is no approved cure for NF1, but there are several promising NF clinical trials in the progress. Although surgical removal of tumors is an option, the preferred treatment is chemotherapy for people. For children diagnosed with NF1, it is recommended that they have an examination each year. Today is also commemorated as Pack Rat Day in US, which is a perfect day to take a little time off and dig into closets, garages, and other storage spaces. With one mission to declutter, hoarding can sometimes go under the radar as daily living makes it difficult to notice how many things we accumulate. Celebrate this getting rid of old and making space for the new. Although the history of Pack Rat Day is not clear, it brings awareness to more serious subject. Hoarding disorder is an ongoing difficulty to discard possessions regardless of their value or usefulness. People with this difficulty may sometimes feel severe anxiety and distress when having to organize or part with their possessions. In some cases, hoarding may be a symptom of another disorder, such as obsessive compulsive personality disorder, OCPD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. Extreme cases of hoarding result in a hindered quality of life, as the living spaces may also become limiting by cluttering or items like newspapers, malfunctioning electronic devices, and old furniture. In recent years, there have been a sensationalist approach to hoarding in certain media outlets. Experts suggest that this disorder is not a simple one to treat. Although cleaning and organizing might help, the underlying factors that lead a person to develop such behavior must not be overlooked. A differentiation must be made between hoarding and collecting. Collecting involves searching, acquiring, and organizing objects as a hobby and a source of enjoyment. While a collector will usually display their findings with pride, a hoarder may feel deep embarrassment and discomfort about their possessions. Today is also commemorated as Shades Day in UK. Which is the closest Friday to International Day of Family, which occurs on May 15th. So it will be celebrated on May 17th. This day was created by the Family Holiday Association, a charity that provides seaside breaks and day trips to families struggling with life's toughest challenges, such as bereavement, illness, mental health issues, and domestic violence. The charity receives no government funding, so donations and fundraisers are only source of income. On Shades Day, people are encountered to take pictures of themselves wearing sunglasses and support charity by donating money. Today is also commemorated as Walk Safely to School in Australia. It is a national event that involves primary children, school children being encouraged to walk to school safely. This day was established by the Pedestrian Council of Australia. Walk Safely to School Day was first held in the New South Wales in 1999 and later became a national event in 2004. This day aims to develop exercise routines for children, promote increased intake of nutrient-dense diets, and cause a positive environmental action by decreasing carbon emissions from driving to school. The key aim, however, is to familiarize youth children with road safety rules. Elementary or primary education refers to the first stage of formal education preceding secondary education. This level of schooling strives to equip students with fundamental reading, writing, and mathematical skills while creating a foundation for future education. Primary education is as old as formal education itself. Today is also commemorated as National Smile Month in UK. It takes place from May 17th to June 17th. Everything from donuts to Star Wars now has its own day. So it's only right that the smiles have their own month. This month of May is dedicated to encouraging excellent oral health and boosting the national smiles. National Smiles Month in United Kingdom is the largest and longest running oral health promotion. The Oral Health Foundation, in charge of organizing it, the campaign seeks to enhance the health of millions of people in the United Kingdoms by increasing awareness of oral health concerns and teaching people how to care for their smiles. In 1977, the Smile 77 campaign began as a week long marketing in the West Midlands. For the event, poem Pam Ennis penned the poem I Wish I Would Looked After My Teeth, which was later voted into the top 10 of a BBC poll to identify the nation's 100 favorite poems. The following year, the event was replicated and the first National Smile Week was held in 1979. Eat Well, Stay Biting Fit was the subject of 1984 Smile Week, which began at the London Transport Museum in Covent Garden and earned around $3.5 million in newspaper attention. Throughout the week, two good food vans transferred London, teaching youngsters in the skill of sugar-free cooking and providing tasters to 2,000 hungry students. The Dental Health Foundation Day is primary organizer of National Smile Month, intending to improve the oral health of millions of people across the United Kingdom. Throughout the month-long campaign, unique events will be held in schools across the United Kingdom to assist youngsters in developing healthy dental habits. The National Smile Month, three important themes are that is crucial to brush your teeth at night and at least once throughout the day using fluoride toothpaste. It is also advised to visit your dentist regularly and to limit your intake of surgery drinks, sugary drinks, and meals. The campaign invites dental and health professionals, schools, pharmacies, community groups, colleges, and workplaces to participate and help us educate, motivate, and communicate positive oral health messages to improve the quality of smiles all over the world. So, if you don't floss your teeth, you are leaving up to 40% of your tooth surface is unclean. Brushing and flossing your teeth twice a day is critical for maintaining good oral hygiene. The earliest toothbrushes were made from tree twigs. Chewing on the tips of twigs spread out fibers make it simpler to clean the teeth. Milk teeth began to grow before birth but do not emerge until the child is 6 to 12 months old. Humans cut, chew, and grind their food using four distinct types of teeth. They are classified as incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Brushing your teeth incorrectly might cause harm to them, and you should avoid brushing too hard. Smiles are powerful. They not only make you feel good, but also form a brief relationship between the people who share a grin. Smiling has been shown in studies to boost worker productivity and creativity, as well as make employees appear more competent and trustworthy. Our brains got healthier as we grin more. This is because smiling makes us joyful, which reduces stress. Smiles have also been shown to blood pressure, heart rate, and discomfort. Smiling can boost our stamina, boost our immune system, and even assist maintain our body's cells healthy. Aside from the fact that our teeth play such a crucial role in our life, a smile provides numerous day-to-day benefits in way boost our self-esteem and impact our social life, professions, and relationships. So with this, we shall end all the commemorations for the day. Thank you everyone for joining us. So we request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form. Presently the registration form has been shared. We request everyone to quickly fill the registration form. After this, we'll be sharing the feedback form. Or we can use the same registration form as feedback form as well. We request everyone to quickly fill the feedback registration form. And those who have registered, filled the registration form can leave the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same link with different combinations. Take care. Good night.